Hello, beautiful family, lovers of good things, lovers of beautiful things all over the globe. I bring greetings from a grateful heart. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on your time zone. Thank you so dearly for always tuning into this platform. I really do appreciate. Please do it to like our video, share, and subscribe. Today, I have a wonderful one that I want us to watch, and I will be watching it with you. Sit back, watch it, and I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I greet all of you in the name of Chukwu Okike, Kere Henile, God, the creator of all things. It is difficult, actually, to speak about Biafra without feeling some level of passion, a bit of anger and frustration. But to be quite honest and objective, we can only talk about Biafra and the Oduduwa republics now in joy and in excitement because things happen for a reason. There is never a reaction without an action. That we know very well. I wanted to bring it to the knowledge of humanity, entire humanity, that Biafra and the Oduduwa republics are here for the interests of humanity in general. It is very difficult for those who are manipulative, those who are insanely selfish, greedy, to a level where they become a threat to themselves without even knowing. It's difficult for people like this to appreciate the truth I am saying right now. Because to these people, all they see is what we call selfish interests. All they see is the things that they never created or brought into the world, and the things they can never be able to take out of the world. They don't even understand what these things they see, these things they didn't bring into the world, these things they can't take out of the world. They don't know what these things represent. Why is that so? They don't know what these things represent because they don't even know their own true definition as mortal beings in this world. They don't know their real identity, let alone the purpose for which they are planted here on earth transiently, because all of us here are on a journey that has a beginning and must have an ending. Now, I really want to talk to Britain in particular, because Britain is the main architect in the evil constructs of Nigeria and the main supporter of Nigeria. I want to also talk to the Fulani, who are the real objects being used by Britain to commit the most heinous evil against humanity. I want them to know that Biafra and the Oduduwa are here for their own salvation. You see, when you talk about Nigeria, you're only talking about a place endowed with blindness, a place constructed purposefully to destroy the key thing that we all need, which is human ingenuity. It is just constructed to destroy human ingenuity and to ensure the production of evil on a permanent, regular, persistent, and progressive basis. It is all there for you to see. You see, we talk about elections. This is what Nigeria is constructed to be talking about and to be doing, because it's the mode through which people are enslaved. It's the mode through which people's ingenuity is destroyed. It is the mode through which the production of fraud, the production of inhumane activities, the production of enslavement is achieved. Election. That is why if you spoke to British establishment, British government about correcting the ills of Nigeria, they will tell you that they are not interested, that Nigeria is an independent country. They know it's a lie. They know they're lying. They know very, very well that they are being deceitful, because they know Nigeria is not a country. They know that Nigeria is a British enterprise limited, designed to destroy humanity. Because anything that destroys the ingenuity of man, the autonomy of man, is designed to destroy humanity. It doesn't matter what that thing is called. They will tell you, in fact, they would advise you to go and use the systems they have put in place, which is only guaranteed to produce evil, to use that system to correct whatever you want to correct. They will advise you this in the full knowledge that there is no road there. They will tell you that Nigeria is an independent country. They will tell you that Nigerians' territorial integrity is all they are interested in. They will try to disassociate themselves with the ills of Nigeria. But watch, as soon as it is election time, they become interested. They become interested in Nigeria suddenly. Activities will start taking place. Visitations to Nigeria will start occurring. Suddenly you'll be hearing about international observers. You'll be hearing about international observers from the international community. And who are the international community and what are their remits? And I keep asking, this international community, how possible is it when this international community is not local to another international community? It doesn't make sense to me. Does it make sense to you? Well, if it makes sense to you, you're part of the problem. If it makes sense to you, you're delusional. If it makes sense to you, I think you need to be checked out urgently. So suddenly they become interested, and you start hearing things like international observers. I'm wondering why these international observers do not participate when there is a general election in Britain. Just think about it. How many people come from elsewhere to observe British elections? And you say it's a country? Now, it is time for people to realize that Biafra nor Oduduwa will never be a threat to anyone. Rather, they are coming to yield a very vital, unique essence to humanity that would help illuminate, that would help inspire humanity to its glory. Let me remind you that the narratives, the concepts, the ideologies, the theories that have governed the creation of Nigeria, the establishment of Nigeria, the progression, in quote, of Nigeria, we are all constructed and drawn from the animal kingdom. People need to understand that Nigeria is a clear byproduct of the notion that mortal beings are basically animals. But you do know very well, if you've been following my broadcasts, that mortal beings are neither gods nor animals. And the fact that one thinks or believes or accepts that they are basically animals, will not make the individual behave like a basic animal. People need to understand that. Rather, what that belief, what that thinking will make a mortal being to do is to behave worse than animals. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand what I'm telling you. Basic common sense will tell you that. The fact that one thinks, believes, or accepts that mortal beings are basic animals, or basically animals, will only make a mortal being start behaving worse than animals. The evidence and the evidences are glaring. They are so clear. For example, once you say you are a basic animal, it will not stop you from planning evil in advance. Remember, no animal can plan evil in advance because animals are instinctive. All animals, all insects, all birds, all fishes, they are all instinctive. They don't plan evil in advance or go about executing evil as it pleases them. No, they are reactive. They adapt to what is before them, either presented to them by nature or presented to them by mortal beings. They adjust, they react instinctively to these circumstances. The fact that any mortal being believes, thinks, accepts that they are mortal beings, they are animals, will never stop such a person from carrying out experiments, preparing poisons, constructing, deploying, or using weapons. It will not stop the mortal being from cultivating, reproducing, and multiplying food. It will not stop. The fact that you're claiming that you are a basic animal will not stop you from planning evil and executing evil, and will not stop you from having the capacity to turn things that are otherwise safe into weapons. If you don't know it, know it. It is only mortal beings that can turn a stone, which naturally is safe, into a weapon. It is only mortal beings that can turn a stick that is naturally safe into a weapon. It is only mortal beings who will still present danger to you, even though they know you are no longer physically present. They know you are existing somewhere, and they can still pursue and plan evil. So the fact that you are thinking, the fact that you are believing, and the fact that you are accepting that you are a basic animal would never stop you from being a mortal being. Rather, what that does is to make you the most dangerous creature on earth. Because with that thought pattern, you become confused. You will lack understanding of who you are. And once you lack understanding of who you are, because you're going to assume what you are not, you begin to assume what others are not, and you will begin to produce evil in ways no wild animal, and all wild animals put together, can never be able to think, let alone execute. I need people to understand this simple truth. Without the understanding of this simple truth, whatever you are, whatever you've achieved academically, whatever you've achieved in whatever sphere of life is useless, right? Because you're going to use those things to cause severe harm to humanity, which includes yourself. Biafra and Oduduwa are coming to bring things that you've never thought about, that are necessary, that are critical for human development, human growth, and the posterity of humanity. So Biafra is not a threat to anyone. Rather, Biafra is a welcome, and should be. Biafra and Oduduwa republics will be actually coming to salvage the mess Europeans particularly have created in this whole world. By the time Biafra comes next year, people will begin to see glimpses of hope for humanity. All this nonsense of using science, which is meant to be serving humanity, and changing science into an agent of destruction for humanity. All this nonsense about lack of appreciation of what mortal beings are here to do. The blindness in science when it comes to the understanding that mortal beings are the only agents in this world with the capacity to expand the world, as well as extract the limitless resources in this world. This knowledge, the understanding of this knowledge would immediately open your horizons to the fact that no matter what we do, we can never overpopulate this earth. And the more we are in this world, the more we are, the more the limitless resources in this world become even more limitless, because in each individual, God planted a very unique thing for growth. It is not rocket science to know that everything we are enjoying in this world, everything that is sending mortal beings into this madness, things like money, crude oil, what have you, science in itself, All these things are byproducts of mortal beings. Without mortal beings, there would be nothing called money. Money would have, you wouldn't have recreated money from the things God created in this world without mortal beings. Money wouldn't have had a name. Money wouldn't have had any meaning. Money wouldn't have had any value. Without mortal beings, there would be nothing called crude oil. It would have had no names, it would have had no meaning, it would have had no value. You see, we were badly derailed. The derailment came from this madness of thinking that mortal beings are basic animals, which they are not. And I will continue to plead with all those who believe that mortal beings are basic animals to please start behaving, start acting, start thinking like basic animals. Because when you do, humanity will breathe a sigh of relief. Humanity will be safe. Because human beings will be able to predict you that are basic animals. Human beings would live in the safety that you, as a basic animal, would no longer think evil, plan evil, and execute evil. Human beings would live in the safety that you can no longer prepare poison, try to poison the air, try to produce genetic modified organisms, try to create certain bacteria that will destroy mankind. You will never, as a basic animal, begin to think of depopulating mortal beings. You will never instigate war and enjoy the killing of fellow mortal beings. Once you become a basic animal, which you claim you are, once you start acting like a basic animal, humanity will come to life. So you know very well that you're lying. You know that you are not a basic animal because you don't think like basic animal, you don't act like basic animal. I just want to remind you, if you have forgotten, that your journey into this world was the same journey your parents and your ancestors went through. It's a journey of total hopelessness, total frailty, total uselessness, absolute vulnerability. A journey which brought you into the world out of the womb with total emptiness, nakedness, to the extent, in fact, you were vulnerable to the extent that you had to depend totally on other people for your survival. It's a journey that you can't forget. Don't forget it. And it's important that you know that the same will repeat itself on exit, because it doesn't matter how attracted or how attractive, it doesn't matter how idolatrous you are in terms of your fixation to the worship of money, which man made or recreated, or how you worship science, or how you worship religion, or how you worship fellow mortal beings, or how you worship earthly positions. It doesn't matter. Or how much alliances, evil alliances you formed, or how much of the ammunition that you put together. I want to remind you that each of these things that you're fixated on, each of them, all of them, will disown you, will deny you, will reject you on the day of exit, because you must exit this world alone, lonely, and empty-handed. That's an assurance. And you can't beat it. There's nothing you can do about it. So it doesn't matter if you are only thinking of how many people you want to kill and depopulate the earth. Every killer must die. The same death must deal with every killer. Trust me. Biafrans don't lie. Genuine Biafrans don't lie. Genuine Biafrans, genuine Oduduwans, they don't lie. They're not interested in what you think, especially if that thing you think is abnormal, no matter how plausible it might sound or look. They're not moved. You can't change them. You can't bribe them. No. They would prefer to respect you so long as you're prepared to respect them back. And what you think you are means nothing, especially if you're not living up to the billing. Because if you say you are a leader, you have to show leadership. You have to show care for those that you are leading. You have to show that the interest of those you're leading is paramount. Otherwise, you will be acting like goats, occupying positions reserved for dogs. You will look hopelessly stupid. Trust me. It doesn't matter the length of your robe. It doesn't matter the size of your collar. It doesn't matter the sharpness of your suit. It doesn't matter the office you think you're occupying. All these uniforms, all these offices, all these institutions that people designed to fool themselves and fool motor beings mean nothing. They mean nothing whatsoever to a genuine Biafran, a genuine Ududua. Because the test of the pudding we check out only in the eating. It is your output that will justify to an average and intelligent and genuine Biafra what your contents are. Because it is through output that we calculate input. You can't be reasoning beyond or below animals, and you are claiming to be civilized, righteous, educated, and opinion leaders. You can't do that. Because you're actually ridiculing yourself, thinking that you're ridiculing others. Biafra and Oduduwa are here to salvage humanity. And it pleased God Almighty to allow this to happen in this season. All I urge everyone is to ensure that they don't try to get in the way. Because when God is on a mission, God is a spirit, you don't get in the way. The season is here. It's a season thing. So my advice to everyone, especially to those who say they are going to observe election in Nigeria, is to please find something useful to do with your life. Stop playing your silly games. Stop being stupid. This is an absolute stupidity. How many people come to your so-called international community to observe your elections? How come you've just suddenly become interested in a place you say is independent and can do their own thing? Why are you interested now? Each time it's election, you get interested. Do you really, what do you really think? What do you really think about yourselves and think, who do you think you're fooling other than yourselves? Please, 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 do not get in the way of the season and this season of freedom. Because this season of freedom is propelled by Almighty God, Chukwokike, the owner, the creator of all things great and small, before each of us became byproducts of other people's sexual intercourse. It's only through this means we got to know that this world existed. Somebody owned this world. Somebody created this world. Somebody owned it. Somebody planted everything in it. Because neither you, nor I, nor our man-made science created or brought anything into this world. We are only users of the things that we met on earth. And it is through the things that we met on this earth that we recreate these things that are attractive to our limited eyesight. These things that we are fixated on and we are worshipping instead of worshipping the Creator himself. We need to be very careful. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all. May we all say all hail Biafra and all hail Yoruba Nation. I thank you. I remain Princess Emihenacha, advocate.
That brings us to the end of this update. Do where to like the video, share and subscribe. Thank you very much for always tuning in. I really do appreciate. Share the video and tell your friends about this platform, because the best thing or the best place for you to be is here. Turn on the bell icon so that whenever I drop a new buzz boost like this, you'll be the first to notify. Thank you once again and remain blessed.